Hi everyone, I'm going to attempt the 16 witchy questions tag. I have the questions on my lap, so if I look down, that's what I'm looking at. I'm actually really sorry about the lighting on this video, but it's late and I'm multitasking because I'm currently have someone running around this room, so if we get animal interruptions, I apologise, but they need exercising. Okay, so question number one. I really do wish this lighting was better. Maybe that one. Okay, question number one. Do you have a witchy name and how did you come by it? I actually don't. And I've never felt the need to have a witchy name. When I was starting out, like many moons ago, I did have a witchy name, and it was just simply one of them was just because I really liked that muse in Greek mythology, so I chose that name for a while, and that was when I thought, oh, you had to have a witchy name, so I did have one then. And then when I was working with another group, we all got onto pagan like name generator, witchy name generator, and a name came up and I used that in the group while we were working together. So I still remember it, which is great, and I still remember the other girls' names as well, so that's really, really exciting. But yes, I really don't think it's necessary to have a witchy name to practice your craft. 2, where are you located? What brought you to that area, or were you born there? Okay, so I'm located in Tasmania, which is part of Australia, and I am located down south, but I was actually born up north. I don't really know what to say about that. I love the area that I live in. It's full of apple orchards and has a very Irish name, and it's really, really pretty. Yeah. That's all I really have to say about where I live. I kind of bought here because it's where I could afford the housing. And yeah, so pretty much I've been here for generations, which is not really surprising when you have so many people with convict ancestry in Australia. Number 3, do you wear a special amulet or jewellery for spell work? I don't, actually. I don't. I do have jewellery that I love, that's pagan and has meaning to me. So I have my cat ring. Oh, it's a little bit of a cut. I have my pentagram ring. I have a unicorn ring as well. I love this ring. Unicorns actually have a real soft spot, and that is just not focusing on it. Is that going to help? I don't think so. And I also have, this is my favourite, my husband bought it for me. He wanted to give me a really cool present, and so he got this custom made, and I absolutely adore it. Oh, there you go, now you can see it. It's made with copper, which I really, really love. It's a metal that I love. But no, I don't use it for my magic, for my spell work or anything like that. I'm very much a believer that everything is within you, and you send it out and that kind of thing, and you don't need any tools, you don't even need a circle, so you can just do what you want. And one of the best spells I ever did was kind of accidentally, actually. I was really mad and I was listening to music and I was walking, and I built up heaps and heaps and heaps of energy stewing on this thing that happened, and I realised that I had built up energy, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to send this out, and I sent it out into the universe, and it was actioned within 2 days, so that was really exciting. Actually, I think it was only even maybe 24 hours. Sorry, distraction. Okay. But yeah, so I don't believe you need anything at all to practice paganism. You just need your mind and yourself. What is your favourite space or place? I have a few favourite places, and I guess this is like witchy places that feel special to you. I do a lot of my magic work here, but yeah, there's a couple of places where I've just gone and wandered around, and that feels really special to me. There's a place in Tasmania called Liffey Falls in particular, and that area is really, really quite special to me. And one of my great aunt actually grew up in the area, and my great grandfather was a hunter, and he used to hunt in the fall, like in the Liffey, and he lived up there. Like apparently he lived in caves and stuff, which was crazy, and he'd go hunting with his dogs, and he reckons he had an encounter with the thylacine, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so that kind of has like lots of different special meanings to me in that area. Another place is Chauncey Vale, which is just located outside of Hobart, and it's named after, or it's sort of famous because there's a local Tasmanian author who wrote children's books, which I'm actually not familiar with, but yeah, but there's something about the energy there, and there's something very old about the energy there. I don't think I'd want to work there. I think it's sort of energy that is very, very old, and I think that it's probably belongs to like the native indigenous populations, and that's not something that I would want to work with, because it doesn't belong to me and my culture. So yeah, but it does have a really interesting energy about it, and there's a cave there that you can walk into and explore, and it's just, yeah, something very, very old about it. So that place is also very, very special. What is your favourite stone or crystal for magical workings? I actually don't work with stones, and I know I'm probably like horrifying people all over the internet. I have stones, but kind of have this thing about ripping them out of the ground and using their energies. I don't really feel comfortable about ripping things out of Mother Earth. But like in saying that, I do have stones. Yeah, and like today, my mother-in-law gave me some jewelry for my birthday, which is stones, and I'm wearing it. So I don't even know what it is, but yeah, I don't have any interest in working with stones, so yeah, I'm probably unusual in the pagan community for that. How long have you been practicing, and how did you come to your path? I've actually been practicing about 17 years, on and off. Like there are times when I have done years of nothing, and times where I've been really active. How did I come to my path? Actually, so I was raised in quite a religious family. My cousins, believed Pokemon was evil because it had evolution in it. Or I remember getting in trouble because I loved watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and my cousins found out and they were horrified. And they gave my mum a lecture about letting us watch shows like that. Thankfully, my immediate family isn't that religious. My dad is like a lay preacher in his faith, so I definitely grew up in a very Christian family. So I remember when I was really young, I reckon maybe 6 years old, and I was sitting in church, and I would just sit there and I'd think, I don't belong here. Like, why am I here? This isn't where I'm meant to be. And so, but being little and being made to go and do these things, you just kind of go along with it. And then, fast forward a few years and I'm in high school, and I actually sat down and I thought about what it is that I actually believe, like, what is it that I'm searching for? And I realized I wanted something where I could worship the earth and the things around me and that kind of thing. And so yeah, so that's where it started, and then I started doing Googling. It wasn't Google back then, I can't remember what the search engine was. but I would search out things, and I found Taoism, and I found witchcraft, and I found Wicca, and I was too scared to touch witchcraft because, of my upbringing, so I had a look at Wicca, and that's where I started from. Do you have a deity, god, or goddess, and how did you connect with them? I only recently found my deities, and one of them came to me in a dream, and even though she doesn't match any of her descriptions, I know, I've done some pendulum work, and I know who she is. And connecting with her is really hard. I think we connect on because she's elusive, and she doesn't really want to, I don't know, I'm finding she doesn't really want to guide me, but I think we connect. I just haven't made that proper connection, I don't think, but I very much am a very nurturing person, and I try to, I do lots of raising of wildlife and joeys and stuff, and I think that we both meet on that sort of mother level, that nurturing mother level, and I'm not really sure how we're going to fit together, and I haven't done a lot of work with her, so I've left her blessings, but her voice hasn't popped in my head. Unlike my god, who was very, very loud a few weeks ago, and I was watching this YouTube video about this person who works with this god, and I was like, oh, I remember when I had a real interest in this god, and this voice just in my head went, I never left, I'm still here, and I was like, oh my god, I just forgot about you. But then I felt very confused because they're from two very different pantheon, and so they belong to two different pantheon, and I'm not really sure what that means. And yeah, I watched a video with Crimson who said just go for it. I asked a question and she said just go for it. So I'm just going to go for it, see what happens. But they're very different deities, so that's going to be interesting. Might stop there and do the next section.